In this video, we're going to talk about how to set up your sales pipeline the right way. Now, if you would hover over the Infusionsoft icon in your dashboard, then click on Settings, and then click on Sales Pipeline at the left. This is where you would build the stages of your sales pipeline. Now, by default, you would already have the stages built out here, which would start with the lead, the prospect, fact find, negotiating, won or lost. Now, you would always build the stages of your sales pipeline based on your own sales process. Every lead that comes in is actually a prospect. So I would just rename the lead as new prospect. And then the next stage is probably going to be appointment, because this is when the salesperson will be setting an appointment with the prospect. The third one may be fact find, but there may be something else that I may need to do or the salesperson needs to do, which is why we would always order our stages with some space in between. And the fourth stage may either be negotiating or most likely proposal sent. And if the prospect becomes a customer, then they go into the won stage. If not, they go into the lost stage. So right now we have 6 different stages in our sales pipeline. And if you want, you can even have checklists under each stage for your salespeople to do or accomplish. You can require a checklist item to be ticked off before they can move to the next stage. Now that we have the different stages of our sales pipeline, the next thing to do is build these stages into a campaign. So let's go into the campaign builder. Let's hover over this icon and then go into campaign builder. Let's create a campaign. Okay, so a sales pipeline is very straightforward. You need a goal starting with when the prospect goes into your pipeline, a sequence after that goal, and then another goal which takes them out of that stage into another stage in your pipeline. So let's start with the first goal, which is having a new prospect. Okay, and then let's put in a new prospect sequence. And then we're gonna name this when they're moved out of new prospect. And we need to connect them. So let's go ahead and choose the stage move into new prospect. And in the sequence, you can put it whenever you like. Usually you would have tasks or you would create an opportunity for your salespeople to action. And then you would create this goal. So this moves them out of the new prospect sequence when the prospect is moved to the next stage. Remember, these are manually being done by your salespeople. You're creating a sales pipeline in order to gauge the performance of your sales team. So you want to see which stages the prospects of your salesperson are in your pipeline. Now we have new prospect, that's the first stage. So we're just gonna go ahead and duplicate this by highlighting all of them and click on duplicate. So what happens after they move out of new prospect, then they get moved into appointment. So as soon as your salesperson moves the prospect into the appointment stage, then they're automatically moved out of the new prospect stage. So in appointment sequence, again, you would have a task for your salesperson to set an appointment. And complete it. Then after that, if the appointment has been set and they've met with the prospect, then they would go ahead and move to the next stage, which is fact-finding. All right. And then again, you have a series of tasks here for fact-finding for your salesperson. Okay, and then after the fact-finding, then they would move on to the next stage, which I believe is sending the proposal. All right. So as soon as they move a prospect into the proposal stage, then that moves them out of the fact-finding stage as well. And then they either go into the one stage if they like the proposal. And here is when you can probably specify any onboarding sequences or onboarding emails to the new customer. Probably tag that or set that person as a customer type in your application. Or if they reject the proposal, then from proposal sent stage, they can be sent to the lost stage, which is this stage that we're building. Okay, so we've now built our sales pipeline campaign. Now you might notice why I built the sales pipeline this way. The most common way of building the sales pipeline is the linear way, without these goals that move them out of the stages. This type of pipeline that I built is what they call the ladder way of building a pipeline. It's a ladder instead of it being linear. The reason why this is better is because a person or a prospect can be moved from one stage to the other, forward or backward. So for example, if you have a new prospect, you can move this new prospect right away into proposal. But from proposal, you can also move this prospect back to appointment. Or from proposal, you can move this person back to fact find. And this is good because when you're moving a person out of each of these stages, then they're no longer in the sequence. Whereas if you're building a linear one, for example, if we're building it using the linear method, from prospect to appointment to fact find, what you will notice is that if they were in the fact find sequence and you were going to push them back or move them back into the new prospect sequence, then they will still stay in the fact find sequence, but will also be in the new prospect sequence, which we do not want. We want to take them out of one sequence and put them in another. So that's the reason why the ladder way is better. So that's the correct way to build your sales pipeline stages and your sales pipeline campaign.